Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today to talk about Blade and his release method coming up in today. He's actually going to be introduced into the game in the way of offers, as well. There are actually going to be Power Core orbs available for him. So, obviously, it's a pretty iconic character. I'm glad we're finally getting his addition, so I'm pretty pumped about it. But I am actually on the fence right now about using Power Cores, and there's a couple reasons why you should or shouldn't, but end of the day, it's completely up to you guys. I'm not sure yet. I'm still leaning more on using Power Cores for his unlock, but at the same time, I can definitely understand why you may want to pause, especially if you are free to play like myself and you've been hoarding Power Cores, and maybe you just want to, be saving them up going forward here, especially with new character unlocks and so forth. So, first and foremost, the most obvious reason that you want to be bringing out as soon as possible is obviously for Orcus raids. There's still technically not really an actual solution for the Mystic Nodes. I mean, you could try to truck through some different synergies, but they're just not effective, right? And even for those that do have Mephisto and utilizing them for difficulty 3, it's like a band-aid solution. It's still not as effective. There's still some RNG involved, and it requires bringing up some characters that aren't really in the meta, but they work kind of as a band-aid solution, and they're not future-proof. So remember, because the NIGHTSTALKER team is the newest team coming into the game here in the wave of raids, they're going to have the longer staying value out of all the other teams now that are going to be replaced in raids. So getting Blade sooner rather than later is going to give you maximal value, and he's going to be at the forefront of that team, especially when synergizing with the other important new members such as, Oath and Man-Thing. Now, having said that, one big thing that you may want to consider on unlocking him as soon as possible is the fact that he is kind of gated behind some awakened abilities, right? He's got some good abilities, don't get me wrong, but some notable upgrades make him maximal in terms of effectiveness, right? For example, his ultimate ability right now, you need his awakened materials to actually achieve the blind for 2 turns, which applies to both primary and secondary targets impacted. So without that, he doesn't have a blind aspect to this ability, but it's still a very strong ability overall. There's piercing, there's stealing of the 20% raw HP, and there's actually even, if I'm not mistaken here, there should be some sort of turn meter rewind as well. So just something, right there, reduce speed bar for 25%. So it's really important to assess that, because this is a strong ultimate, but it's gated behind, again, awakened ability materials. Now, the caveat is that they've actually added a free-to-play way to actually get these materials. So if you go over to the supply store, this dates back to the new candy store that was released yesterday, and you can see I've already started purchasing them. Blade's Ultimate Awakened Ability materials, yes, you can actually start purchasing them with the candies. And again, this event's not live yet, but I want to get a head start and start taking a look at some of these purchases, just because I'm planning to use my 600k gold to obviously purchase more candies as this event continues. So that's definitely something important to consider. Another thing is that if you're thinking about skipping this team, it's probably going to be unlikely, because there's going to be some value also for them in the future Battle World, Siege Battle World coming to the game. So Blade's going to have an important role. That's why he's on the splash art screen against Null. He's going to have an important place. So having him earlier means you can build him up quicker, which means he's going to add obviously value to your account sooner rather than later. But I also want to point out that it's been speculated and actually rumored that he's going to have a completely free-to-play event shortly here in a week or two. So if you just wanted to wait a couple weeks, you don't need to use any resources. You don't need to use Power Cores. You don't need to spend. But again, that's just a rumor right now. We don't really know, because we're kind of basing it off of, like even the previous event where, out of the Orcus team, we had Sentinel being the first character, and then his event actually coming shortly afterwards, and that was about 2 weeks. So you could probably expect his event, if he's going to be the featured one out of 3 in a few weeks here. So just something to be mindful of. That's the other reason why you may want to consider pausing, because remember, now that these events have been pushed off a bit, you actually see the respective characters that are getting added, their Power Core offers staying in a lot later now in the game, right? So we still have, Omega Sentinel, Nimrod, and even Sentinel Power Core are still here. So even actually Thanos Endgame is still in the store here effectively. I was not aware of that. So my point is this, right? If you're not sure about using Power Cores right now, you could always just wait. You could always just wait a week or two to get more information. Mind you, obviously you would be losing that aspect of getting his unlock as soon as possible, but at the same time, it allows us to make a better decision right now in terms of waiting. So that's kind of the path I'm leading on as well, right? I plan potentially to use Power Cores, but maybe I don't want to do it day one. Maybe I just want to wait a week or two, see what the data mines look like, I think the safest bet, especially since every week they usually have some new uploads here on Wednesday in the data mine file. So maybe even today. But once I get that information or confirmation, then I think I'm going to feel better about using Power Core Swarm. So for those of you that want to play it safe and don't know yet, it's always better to wait because these orbs already stay in the game for quite some time. But yeah, the last reason here, I think if you guys want to consider it, is also with the new events coming out here, the new NIGHTSTALKER Showcase event, which is called the... Is it Dead of Night? Yeah, right here. Dead of Night, NIGHTSTALKER Super Showcase. You're going to be able to earn more candies if you have Blade already unlocked from the get-go. So more candies means more opportunities to get Crimson Gear, Diamond Orbs, if that's what you're interested in, especially the Oath Diamond, as well, once again, the Awakened Materials for Blade. So it's going to give you more value if you have them unlocked as soon as possible. But yeah, those are I think the 3 biggest reasons right now. If you guys are trucking through and having a hard time already in the Mystic nodes, I definitely think Blade's going to help. But I just don't know if the combination of Agatha Harkness, Moon Knight, and Blade is going to get the job done right now. I think the 4-piece, I think once Oath comes or Man-Thing, one of the two, I think the 4-piece team plus someone like maybe like Dormammu or maybe Val, they can actually probably put you to the edge. But I'm only assuming that's probably going to be applicable in those initial difficulties. Maybe like, you know, D0, D1, maybe D2. But that's what we're doing right now in D2. And like I said, I'm having, my Mephisto even has, you know, RNG issues there. So that's the other reason why I'm leaning on getting Blade sooner, because I'm sure he can help my Mystic team. So after that, guys, after that's said and done, I mean, at the end of the day, just weigh that out, right? Do you care about the value right now in Mystic Raid sooner? They're going to be utilized in a Siege Battle World team for sure. They look like a very strong team already based on some of the other content creators and getting access to the practice servers to actually test it out and see how they're performing. They seem actually pretty promising. And as well, like I said, the more candy farming, if you do want, is unlock it right away. But aside from that, statistically, Blade is the 2nd highest damage dealer in the game after Odin. So, I mean, you're getting a very, very strong offensive character in him right from the get-go. And he also has the 7th highest HP in the game. So, not surprising, because these newer characters coming into the game, they are focused more on their stats, right? So, that's it for now, guys. I'll be back later. Like I said, I think probably just waiting. Waiting is probably better right now to not use power cores and see what the data mines show and see if there is, in fact, an event coming forward. And otherwise, like, I would say even waiting a week is going to be powerful, because it's going to give us more information to work with here. So try not to FOMO right now. I think the best course of action right now is just to be patient, to see what the information unfolds, and then we can use that information, because we know these power core orbs stay for a while anyway. So we'll be back later to deep dive his kit, and as well as take a look at the T4s and ISO8. So thank you for your time as always, guys. Let me know what you're planning to do, but that's my game plan overall. I think best to wait right now, save those cores, and then we will see what happens with the more information that we find. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.